Hey, what's up guys? Adam here, and today I'm going to be quickly going over the first round that I played in the CCL, which is the Collegiate Chess League, which is basically an inter-college chess tournament. The time control is 5+2, and all the games are online, obviously, because of COVID. And I'm playing for the University of Pittsburgh, and our first round opponents were LSU for week 1. And all of LSU's players were rated higher than me on blitzonchess.com, and I believe they had like two 1700s. They had two 1700s, a 1500 and a 1400. We had two 1400s, a 1600 and a 1900, so our board 1 was quite a bit stronger than all of us, and I was playing on board 3. I'm around 1420 on Blitz, but I've never played in a Blitz online tournament. I've played a decent amount, but I'd say my Blitz game is much worse than my regular over the board. So this is sort of a learning experience for me, and yeah, so let's get into the gameplay. Not going to be doing any computer analysis on this. I just want to go over it by myself and just see what I see. So okay, I'm white here. I'm board 3. I'm playing against their board 2, who's about 1750 or 1760. So let's get started. So I played d4, which is what I always play. And I was looking at their games yesterday night, doing a little preparation. I noticed he plays the modern. So yeah, I just play c4 against the modern. And I forgot what move to play here, but I guess you're just supposed to play e4 or any of the knights. So I played one of the knights. He plays knight there, and e4, and d6. So we're going into a King's Indian. And I was prepping to play the Seamus variation with f3, which for some reason I forgot to play, which is classic me. Okay, anyway. Oh, crap. Why is the board, like, white now? Whatever. Yeah, so instead of playing f3, I just played knight f3, which is what I usually play. He castled, and bishop b2. So this is a pretty standard King's Indian so far. Knight d7, castles, e5, d5. It's all pretty standard theory, I think. And here he plays knight c5, and this is why I wanted to start playing another line other than this, because the pawn isn't really great, and I don't love my position. Yeah, so queen c2. This is all, I've played this before. He plays a5, which I think is a move. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure what a5 is doing, actually. But whatever, I played a3 because I wanna push b4. Bishop g4, which I don't really get. I mean, I guess it's like a decent square for the bishop, but I think I would have preferred bishop d7, but whatever. I played bishop g6, or bishop g5, sorry, pinning the knight, and also now he's not pressuring this pawn so much. h6, and I figure at this point I should probably just take, because I don't really like that knight, and then his bishop, and then I was figuring he would take with the bishop, and then his bishop would be kind of poorly placed, but he took with the queen, which I didn't really look at. But my position's not terrible right now. I think I play b4 here. Yeah, b4, which I like. Puts pressure on his knight. Knight doesn't really have a great square to go to. He can pretty much only go to d7, and it's not really too great of a square. He takes, I take, and he plays knight d7. Now here I probably should have looked a little bit harder, but I pretty much instantaneously played c5, I think. Another move, let's see. Probably could have, I could have played h3 maybe. I don't know if I love h3 though, because then my bishop's not really great, but I don't know. This seems pretty equal to me. Obviously, I'm not using the computer. Or maybe knight b5 now. Not really sure. Knight b5 looks interesting, yeah, but I played c5. He took my knight, I took back. Queen e7, which doesn't really make any sense to me. Oh, actually, no, so he wants to push f5. That makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. Wants to break open the center, so I like this. Obviously, in the game, I didn't see f5. I was like, that move doesn't make much sense. So I played knight b5 here. And so yeah, obviously pressuring his c7 pawn. And he takes my pawn, and here I think I should have played knight takes c7. Actually, I don't really know. I don't even think this line was very good for me. I think this must have been a blunder. Knight b5 must have been a blunder. Yeah, so anyway, I take, and then I realize he can take with the knight here and be up a pawn, but instead he takes with the queen, which I didn't really understand. Because the line is knight takes, and then I can't take here because his queen's defending. So anyway, yeah, he plays queen takes, knight takes, c7. And this position is probably worse for me, I would assume. I have a little more time than him, but he is a pretty nice passed b-pawn. I do have this passed d-pawn, but it's not really in the greatest position. I don't know. This position's probably like about equal, I'd say. Not really sure. My knight isn't really in a good spot. And I need to make my rooks active soon. I probably don't do that soon enough. So rook c8, rook ac8. And here I'll only move, I think. And f5, which is a good move. Breaking through. And this is bad for me because I want this pawn to be supporting this other pawn. So here I didn't really know what to do. I think I like rook ac1. Rook ac1 would lose a pawn, so don't know about that. What do I like? Knight d6? No. Yeah, I don't really know. I think this position's just not good for me. Because I can't I don't think I can defend the pawn, really. I can play rook e1. That's probably what I play. Yep. And knight d3, which isn't good. And I was thinking about playing rook to e3, but then he has he doesn't have f4. It's like, what? My blitz mind is just pretty bad. So yeah, I played rook e2. Probably should have played rook e3. That would have made more sense. And g5, which is really, really bad for me. My bishop is basically trapped, and I did not know what to do here. I definitely should have played rook e3 now. Or g3 makes sense, actually. I don't think I saw g3. Yeah, but I took. Which don't think is good. I don't know. e4 takes, and yeah, so I didn't see this. This was a very tricky threat by my opponent. And he has the bishop attack. So that was very nicely played. I didn't see that. So I take the pawn, thinking he's lost his mind, and he wins my rook. God damn it. Yeah, alright, anyway. So he wins my rook. And I can't take his knight because of checkmate. So not checkmate, I didn't see that, but I would have lost my rook, so basically as bad as checkmate. So now I'm flustered and I don't know what to do, so I play h4 because I want Luft. And I figure, okay, he can't take here because I take his knight, so that was my thought process there. Rook c1, obviously, hello. Computer? Where's my move? Hello? Why isn't it letting me move? Oh, I resigned. That makes sense. Did I resign here? Did I really resign here? Wait, hold on, guys. Oh, God. Did I really resign here? Oh, I don't think I should have resigned here. I mean, yeah, I'm, like, hopelessly lost, but he can still blunder. Did I resign here? That doesn't make any sense to me. Let me reload the page. Did I really? No, I didn't resign there. Okay. Yeah, so the fucking... whatever. Something... Chess.com glitched. Alright, whatever. So check. King h2. Yeah, I didn't think I would resign in that position. Doesn't make much sense because we're playing blitz. So knight f4. Attacking my rook. Rook d2. Pretty logical. Want to protect this pawn and push. Because that's the only chance I have of winning now. Bishop e5. He's really not letting me. And now he's got a potential discover check. So his position is horrible. g3. I think it's pretty logical. Takes. Yeah, my position sucks. Yeah, and I didn't see this. And should probably resign now, but I don't. And I get pretty close to actually mating him here somehow, but he doesn't. He has this free square, and I was trying to figure out how to get that square under attack, but I can't because I have no pieces. I hate that I keep doing that. Alright, whatever. Yeah, so he sacks. And I try, but he has 2 passed pawns, and I lose. So, yeah, that was my first game. Pretty solid win by him, in my opinion. Just knocking over everything. Alright. Game 2 is against our board 1, who's high 1700. He's white and he plays the bird, which I haven't had much experience against because his opening's not great. So I always play d4 against any weird opening. So pretty much we're getting into like sort of a Dutch kind of thing. I don't like bishop c5. I think I should have played bishop d6 because he has d5 here. And but he plays e3, I think, and he still has d5, but my knight would be good on e4. So whatever, castles, and I play bishop d6 because I want to play c4 or c5, and knight c6 is my plan with that. He plays knight bd2, pretty reasonable. c5, we're just trying to get a center. Queen e1, and now I see the problem, e4, and there's no way to do anything about this. So let's see, what was my mistake? So c5 I shouldn't have played. I mean, queen e1 is a very intelligent move. I mean, rook e1 also does the same thing, but I think queen e1 is pretty interesting. I don't know why he didn't just play queen e2, but whatever. Huh, wait, so instead of... I don't even know what I'm supposed to do here. This position already looks kind of bad. I think I should play, so h6. I should have found h6, I guess. But obviously I didn't see the threat until this. And now he has the threat of e5. And on e5... God damn it. Can I do some analysis, please? Or whatever, so... Yeah, I played h6 now, but... So, e5. And let's take a look at the analysis here. So takes... And I can't take. I think this is what happened in the game, actually. So bishop h7 here, forking. And yeah, I didn't see that until it was too late. So e5 takes bishop here. I hate when I... Oh, this erases the game? What the fuck? Why does this erase the game? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Alright, I guess I'm not gonna do any more fucking variations. This is so annoying. Alright, whatever. Very scuffed first episode of this. Okay, yeah, so whatever. H6, E5, takes, bishop H7. I was thinking about taking with the bishop, but it looked really bad for me. And E5. Yeah, so we're lost here, basically. This position is just absolutely, like, awful. Alright, so takes, knight takes. And on knight takes, I didn't see the threat of bishop takes, winning my rook. So, like a fucking idiot, I play bishop takes c7, and he takes. And at this point, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is horrible. So I play queen check, just trying to get any sort of counterplay that I possibly can muster up. Knight d7, saving my rook. Knight takes, queen takes. And trade. He's +4, so this is basically resignable at this point, but I still have a passed d pawn, so I'm keeping my hopes alive. Knight f3, d3. The pawn is looking decent here. And he doesn't have very much time left. He has a minute and 18, so I have about double his time. Bishop d2 blocking the pawn. Rook b8 attacking the b2 pawn. b3. Knight c5 I think is a good move here. We're just trying to get into e4 and then possibly into c3 potentially later. So rook e1, rook fe1. Don't know what I would play here. There doesn't look like that many moves. I king f8 because I thought on, for some reason, when I saw, I just realized, okay, cool, it didn't erase my entire game. We're good. Yeah, but I thought on f5 he could take my pawn, and I would, but I would just take back with the knight, and I didn't see that. So I played king f8 first because I wanted to protect this pawn, but then next move I realized after here, which doesn't do anything, that I can just play f5. And my knight will be really, oh god, drunken knight. My knight will be really good on the square. So b4, which doesn't make any sense. So knight e4. And now I'm putting a fair amount of pressure on him. So bishop e3, attacking this pawn, but not actually attacking it because I take. And now if he plays takes, then I can, what can I do? I thought I could play d2, but I forget what my idea was there. Well, that's weird. Yeah, whatever. I don't think I had a plan. Yeah, but he plays knight d4, which is a blunder, because I have a nice tactical idea with the same thing before of rook takes d4, bishop takes d2, which is a nice find by me. So rook f1, and I try to find some sort of way where I can save my queen, but I can't, so I just take here, and he takes. And now he's only +1, and I actually have drawing chances. Not really great drawing chances, but whatever. And he has 21 seconds left, so I actually kind of feel confident that I can bring this back and not lose. Okay, so bishop was attacked, so bishop a4. Trying to possibly re-navigate to, like, oh yeah, my idea was with bishop a4 is to, when he checks, I can play bishop e8. So anyway, bishop takes a7. And we want to get rid of this pawn eventually, but it's kind of hard to at the moment. So king e7, which I think is good, advancing the king. Bishop check, which is fine. I almost take the bishop, but then I realized that's kind of bad because then his rook will have free reign, and I need to sort of maintain my pieces. So instead I play king d7, which I think is a good idea. Bishop d4. G5, which I like, I'm basically trying to get all the pawns off the board so that I have more drawing chances. Takes. King G2. King d6, just advancing our kings. Bishop e3, not attacking my g5 pawn, so I actually don't know what the point of that was. e5, which I think is a good move, for sure. Rook to c4, which I didn't actually notice was attacking my bishop until now, which is pretty funny. Wait, actually I did. Oh, I thought I was going to play f4. Okay, cool, whatever, I didn't play. f4 might have actually been good. I don't think it would have been good. That's a lie. Yeah, so bishop c6, which makes sense. King f1. And now I see this fork threat, so wow, really? I didn't play f4? Huh. Well, f4 seems good, but whatever, I didn't play f4. So, bishop d5 instead, which is also reasonable. Because, attacking his pawn if he moves his rook, so he has to defend the pawn with his rook. So his pieces are all kind of bad, so now f4, which is good. He has 6 seconds left. So now we have a possibility of flagging even though there's a 2-second increment. Takes. And you want to be taking with this pawn, because if you take with this pawn, then this pawn can run. So anyway, takes. Bishop back. And his position is kind of weak. So g4, which I like. I think that's a good move. Probably one of his worst moves of the entire game. Rook c8 doesn't make any sense. Like, what is that trying to do? Get behind the pawns, I guess, right? Or check my king from behind, but my king can just get in front of my bishop, and now my pawns are a lot better than when his rook was on the third rank. So g3, which I think is good. Check, king here. Takes, and bishop a7, which I think is fine. And I definitely think I should play king f4 here. Okay, knight there, which is also okay. That has to be a blunder, right? King e2... I just realized a bishop... I didn't see this in game either. The bishop is just protecting that square. So I don't get how this happens. Okay, so wait. So he can easily take my knight for free. Which he does. And I make a good move. Which I don't even know if I would have otherwise. I played bishop takes a2. Obviously now he's up a rook for a pawn, but at least my pawn could potentially queen. So check, and rook to the back rank. Obviously just stopping my pawn. I don't even think this is necessary. King f3, rook behind. Bishop d5, reasonable. He's trying to get his king in. Don't know why I moved my king here. I think this is a draw if I just don't move my king. Maybe it is. Maybe it's a draw if I move my king too, but whatever. So yeah, we both have no time. King e2, king h2. This is a very weird, sort of bookish looking position. King h3. I also could have just moved my bishop. Don't really know why I didn't do that. But same principle. King h2. And yeah, I think he must have lost his mind or something, because he decides to take the bishop. Which is an egregious blunder. And now I queen with check, winning his bishop. So now I have queen versus rook, which is winning, but it's hard to checkmate. So I have to play accurately. So he checks here, and then he flags, and I scream in victory. So I beat their board 1. So at least now, if I do poorly, I beat their board 1. So pretty happy about that. Let me just check in. Alright, cool. We're still recording. So yeah, I beat their board 1, which I'm pretty happy about. Let's move on to the next game, which is against their board 4, who is about the same rating as me. Always play d4. So he plays bishop e7. A little bit passive, but alright. Castles, I decide to fianchetto on the king side, which I think is okay. d5, I don't like losing pawns, so I trade and play bishop g2, which may or may not be accurate, who knows. c6. So this is sort of a weird kind of Slav position. Castles. Bishop g4 doesn't make a lot of sense because he's not pinning my knight. And h3, because of those reasons, doesn't make a lot of sense. But usually when... So basically my gut reaction is just to play h3 whenever his bishop's on g4, because that's usually pinning my knight, and I don't like my knight to be pinned, but here it wasn't, so h3 doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Bishop h4, or bishop h5, sorry. Bishop f4, which is reasonable. Knight bd7. God damn it! You're gonna see. Oh god, don't look at that, don't look at that. Don't look at that, guys. Chill. Oh yeah, so bishop, so knight bd7, and then I decide, okay, I don't really like my position if his bishop is just sitting there, so I decided to play g4, which is pretty interesting. I don't think it's too bad. Bishop e6, and then my idea is knight e5, tagging his bishop, so he should probably take, or maybe he shouldn't, I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure, but he decides to play c5, which is definitely an interesting move. Take, and I decide to take. Oh, yeah. So my immediate thought was to play takes there, but then I realized his pawn was hanging, so I'm up a pawn now, which is great. Takes. So obviously the dumbass that I am, I take here, not noticing that my bishop is hanging. I'm playing probably about as well as a 500 rated player. So yeah, I go from a pretty much winning position. So I should have just obviously played e3, but I'm a dumbass. Gotta remember, guys, I'm a dumbass. So he takes my bishop for free, and now he's at +1, and my pawn's hanging, so I play c6, which I think is okay. Knight c5, I think is okay. Takes, and rook b8. Sort of interesting. I didn't really know what to do here, so I probably thought a pretty long time. What did I end up going with? Probably like queen c2 or rook c1, I assume. Oh, e3. Okay, e3 is not bad. What did I think? I thought for 15 seconds there. Thought for another 19 there. So queen here is actually, I think that's a pretty good move. And now here, somehow I didn't see my threat of I can take the a pawn now, but I didn't do that. And so he trades everything off. He's now probably, well, he's in a much better endgame. B3 because my pawn was attacked. H6 for Luft, so that's a pretty good move, I think. I think I like H5 better, though, trying to undouble his pawns, but alright, sure. Probably played rook fe1, yeah. And now my plan is to try to checkmate him, so I play rook c1, of course. Because I'm a checkmating fish. Yeah, anyway, so he plays g5, which is a good move. King g2, advancing. Now my f2 pawn is just horrible, so I have to defend it. He puts everything on it, and then he moves over to my d5 pawn, which I think was a smart move. So then I play rook d1, and my idea is if takes, then I'm going to play here and put a lot of pressure on his bishop. So I think that's a decent idea. And then I can move my king over potentially and win his bishop, so he decides not to take the pawn. And plays bishop c3, which I think is a little bit weird for the bishop, but alright, whatever. Rook e6, trying to trade rooks and get a good pass pawn, but he obviously declines. Take, which I don't even know if I like that trade by me, but how else am I supposed to? I guess I could play rook e5, but I can't play rook e5. Okay, so I guess this is forced. King f4, trying to get my king here. Oh, god damn it, drunken king. Trying to get my king here and play f4. King here, king here, king here. f4. G6 doesn't make any sense. I think he should just take it. Actually, I don't know, man. I suck at that game, so don't even listen to me. F5, takes, and now I actually have two passed pawns. So now my position's looking a decent bit more promising. Now I definitely want to be playing rook c1 to c7, c6 as soon as possible, which I don't think I'd find, which is pretty funny. So he has about twice the time as me too. I have 2 minutes, he has 4. Okay, so h5. Yeah, so for some reason, I don't know how I didn't find rook c1. Rook c1 looks pretty good to me. Like, pretty decent, like, queening chances if I play rook c1. Because I can trade the rooks. I don't want to go into into the damn analysis mode, but rook c1, for example, bishop e4, rook c6, and then he can't really take, so let's say here maybe takes f4. Looks very good for me. So whatever. Yeah, so rook d3, so I definitely should have played rook c1, not looking at any analysis. Bishop e5 is kind of strong, I think. So rook c... Oh my god. Man, so I really should have played rook c1. I think I should probably play rook d2 here. Just try to get a c6 again. Yeah, but I don't... Obviously, I don't see that idea. So a4, rook d7, b4, bishop d6, attacking the pawn. So b5, I assume, yeah. And bishop b4 is actually a pretty good move. Because when I play here, he plays bishop a5, and I don't really know what to do. But I think I find an idea. Check. Yeah, so this was rook d3 was a blunder. I should have played rook f3. But I didn't see the check. And now he can take that pawn for free, but I played d6. And so rook in front, and he's going to win that pawn too, I'm pretty sure. So I played check, which is a good move, actually. And I think he should probably just play king f6. Yeah, king f6 looks winning. But he plays king e3, king e6, which I think is a blunder. Takes. And now here he should defend his pawn, but for some reason he takes, and I take his h pawn. So now he's only plus a pawn again. Or, well, I don't know. So this position is actually really interesting. And here for some, I don't know. Yeah, rook d4 doesn't make sense. Maybe it does. I'm really not sure. I don't think it's a good move. So yeah, check, and then check, winning the pawn. And then he wins my a. I win his a pawn, he wins my a pawn. But now his bishop's pinned. So I have a nice move. Originally, okay, so I should have just played b6. I don't know what I'm doing. Whatever. So I didn't see b6. So I played rook a6 and then b6. Check. And he can't take my pawn because I win his bishop. Check. Moving my king. And he makes an egregious blunder with bishop takes b6. And I take his rook. And now I'm winning with correct play. Queen, and now I'm in a rook versus... I'm just in a king and rook versus king endgame. 12 seconds left. And, yeah, guess who forgot how to checkmate with a rook, because I haven't played in forever? Me. Yeah, so I'm trying to get him into, like, a corner or on the side of the board. I don't know what the hell I was doing, honestly. Yeah, and watch this. Yeah. I don't know if you got that, but I accidentally threefold repetition him with no time on my clock, and we draw, which is just probably one of the worst draws I've ever had. Like, ever. Like, this was the easiest win, and I just... Yeah, so I don't know what the result was. I don't even know if we won yet, if our team won, so if that draw is a deciding factor, I completely blame myself for the loss, but... Yeah, so that was pretty horrible, but, I mean, I ended up with half a point, I guess. I mean, obviously, geez, I mean, I should have won, but, oh, God. Just horrible, but whatever. Just, that was probably the worst thing that happened. But, I mean, you know what. I have 1.5 to 3 going into the last game, so now my mentality is just I need to win against this guy because I feel so shitty about drawing that other guy. So I'm black, he plays d4, and I play the anti-Nimzo with b6, which is the Queen's Indian. Which I haven't played in a while. Bishop g5, which I don't... that's probably a move. I would assume. Bishop b6. I go d5. This is probably book. I don't fucking know. I always just try to play what looks like book moves. Bishop e7, which I think is fine. I was also thinking about bishop b4, but I don't really see that point. Bishop d3 castles. He takes my knight, which I don't really understand, but I guess it's fine. Doesn't seem too bad. Takes, castles. Knight d7. Trying to get my knight to f6. Yeah, and I want to play c5 in the near future. He plays a good move. Queen b3. And I wasn't really sure how to defend my pawn. I pretty much have no ways to defend my pawn, I don't think, other than a stupid knight move, which I don't want to make, or c6, which I play. So that kind of sucks. Rook c1, rook ac1, rook c8, which I think is reasonable. e5, and his position is just better than mine at this point, I would say. I think rook e8 makes sense, maybe, or taking. Takes, knight takes. And now I have this square that I should have defended, but I, for somehow, some way, I didn't see that threat. Like, I don't really know what I was thinking. So I play c5, which I think is a mistake. Knight d6, and then here, I figure, okay, so I could play rook b8 or rook b7 or rook c7, and he would just take my bishop, and my rook would be horribly placed, and we'd be equal material, but my position would be bad. So instead, I decided to play sort of a more positional sacrificing line with bishop takes f3, which opens up his king, but he wins the exchange. So I'm only down. I'm down the exchange, but I'm up a pawn, so I'm only -1 here. So it's not horrible, but my position's obviously pretty bad. Queen c2, which somehow, again, don't see the obvious threat. But I take, which I actually think is fine in retrospect. But, actually, no, I don't. I don't think that's fine. That's, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I could have just defended that. Alright, so whatever. So, king h8. And he plays a very good move here with bishop f5. Don't really want to lose my knight here. I think I should have played g6, maybe. But then I thought he could have played, like, bishop g4 and just been pinning my knight, so I decided to get my knight unpinned with queen c7, which I think is reasonable. Maybe, like, yeah, that's fine. Alright, I don't have a problem with that move. And now queen e4, which is okay, I guess. I want to play rook e8 really bad, but I can't play rook e8 right now. Knight f6. We have about equal time. We both have 2 minutes left. So knight f6 attacking the queen. And obviously, I saw this barely before I made my move. So he checks, and if my knight's not there, he mates me. So we need my knight to be there. f3. Don't understand this move. Don't know what that does. What does that do? Like, really, what does that do? I have no idea. So rook e8. I'm trying to get a little bit of lift for my queen. Or not for my queen, for my king. And also trying to threaten some sort of rook e2 idea. And yeah, I missed the tactic. Plain and simple, missed the tactic. And I thought I had some sort of trick here. So I played rook e2 check. Rook f2, and I almost have... I almost can do it. I almost can play queen takes h2 check. But it doesn't work. Because queen h2 check, king takes the queen, and he takes my rook, so he's up material. And then if I take, which is what I did in the game, he just takes with the queen. So now I'm pretty much hopelessly lost. I fork his bishop and rook, but he has a way to defend them both, which I didn't see. And he thought about that move for a while, so he found that in time. Luckily for him. g6, and I think he should just take. I think bishop takes is a pretty easy win. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. But whatever. Bishop g4, which is also fine, obviously. Takes. And, yeah, so I have 2 pawns for a rook, which is horrible. So now I'm trying to do some sort of skewer, but obviously... So my idea here is I want to take here, when take his queen, and then he'll take, and then I'll 2-pass pawns. So I'll have some chances. But obviously he doesn't let that happen. And I know I can't trade a queen, so I try to perpetual check him. But he finds a way out. Check, takes. So I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I didn't see I lost the pawn here. So now I'm just hopelessly lost. So, yeah, rook c6, and then I move my king up, and then he moves his king up, and it's game over. I pretty much can't do anything here. My position is just so hopeless. Like, I can't move my king anywhere except these spaces, which doesn't do anything. And he has the easy fork. So yeah, I played b5, and here I gotta resign soon, I would think. Yep. Yeah, so I thought, so when he, funnily enough, when he put king e6, I didn't even see the mate threat. So I was like, oh my god, I might be able to queen. Obviously, I can't even queen, because he can play here. So I'm fucking stupid. But yeah, whatever, I didn't see the mate, and he mated me. So yeah, it was a pretty bad ending. But I ended 1.5 out of 4, which for board 3 isn't horrible, but obviously I shouldn't have lost the 3rd game. I should have won that game, so I should have went 2 out of 4, which would have been good, which would have been a good result for me, especially against all higher-rated opponents. But yeah, that didn't end up happening, but I mean, at least I got that comeback win on board 1, but I don't think I'll ever forgive myself for drawing that 3rd game, but it's whatever. It was an okay start. It was an okay start besides that draw for the first week. And I hopefully we won. I don't know. My result's not bad for board 3 against all higher rated. So if our board 1 does really well, I think we probably will get the win, but hopefully not going to jinx myself there. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll probably be back next week for week 2 coverage in this event. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.